Hello and welcome to Terrace Talk. And obviously, you can see we're joined by Duncan again. Um,
Cool.
and this is probably an impromptu show that we weren't really planning, but there's been so much to talk about on social media today. So we thought we'd have well, basically a chat. Now, the first thing that we are going to talk about, and it is probably the hottest topic on social media right now, and that is the club's membership. Now, a lot of people would be disappointed. A lot of people may be okay with it, but yeah, it's something that was always going to be an issue, and it's not really going to suit everyone. Duncan, what's your thoughts firstly on how the clubs handled the membership?
So I think away from the membership into season tickets, I think they've handled it really well. Yet to be released about the away ticketing system and how it works, but reading the brief press release, it looks like they're incorporating international fans. It looks like there's going to be an option for season ticket holders to sell back if they can't attend, sell back their ticket to the club, which would then directly go to members. So, not every season ticket can attend every game. And I think if they're giving you an option to legitimize giving that ticket away, or, selling it back to the club so that you don't lose value and someone else that's a member that maybe can't be a season ticket holder can get to the game, I think that's only a good thing.
It is a good thing, especially like if it means that a season ticket holder can't make a game that goes to a member. A lot has been said around the way that members will be able to get tickets now, and that's done via a ballot. Now, you'll see people saying, "Oh, it's not really a fair system," but realistically, last season was a ballot in all but name, because it was you joined the queue, and if it depends on where you were in the queue to whether or not you got a ticket for a game. Now, I think this is a fairer way because one, it's not putting as much pressure on the ticketing system because everything will be done behind the scenes. They'll do the ballot, and if you're successful, the money gets taken, a bit like the cup schemes for season ticket holders, where it'll get taken out of your account.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually also think it's a fairer system because it's always going to be disappointing, especially those members who were able to get tickets all the time. But there were a lot of members who forked out the money and didn't get a ticket, and that's where you sort of look at it and you go, well, hang on, is this not a fairer way of doing it by saying, well, look, we are going to do it by a ballot. Yeah, you never know, your ticket might come, and we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how many people will take up the membership, and we then also don't know how many tickets are going to be available. Now, season ticket holders can purchase a membership if they wish to, but I honestly can't see that many taking up that option because.
So it's not clear yet whether. So like if we have friends and family that have membership numbers, not necessarily paid membership numbers, but if they're on our list, we can gift them our season ticket. Does this now mean that those people are going to have to be paid members in order for a season ticket holder to gift them a season ticket?
No,
I don't know.
no.
Okay.
Obviously, by being a member, you get other benefits as well. I think it's like discounts and stuff like that. So there's other benefits that you get with being a member. But no, if you want to gift it to a friend and family, it doesn't matter whether or not they're paid or just registered as having a ticket account. That's all all they need is they just need to have a ticketing account. So when you gift that ticket, it can go to their ticketing account and allow them to get it. Now, obviously, just moving on to the season tickets, when we did go and purchase, the season tickets and everything, the correspondence that we had out was that we'll get in touch by in July to let you know how to download your season ticket. Well, we're on the 25th of July now, so
nothing. Yeah, and it's a lot of money and you don't have I've got a receipt, obviously, but that's a lot of money. And the Aston Villa game is in what, 17 days' time?
Yes, I think so. Well, I think there wasn't the talk on Sunday, obviously, when we played Villa, that we were going to be playing them in around 3 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the
So
discussion was, why was Eddie Howe going to show them the tactics for 3 weeks' time?
So I think they need to communicate what they're doing with these season tickets, because people have, I'm one of them. I'm paid my money, and I don't, like last season, you got a box, you got the season ticket, you got the pen. We paid our money weeks ago, and we don't have anything tangible to say that, other than if you click online and have a look, it says that you got a season ticket, but you don't really have much else other than that, do you?
No, it's one of those hot topics. I do think a lot more probably could have been briefed out about the membership, because it was just like, well, this is how it's going to be done, and there's a lot of questions in the club. I think, from what I understand from social media, a lot of the ticket office staff don't really have all the questions regarding that.
No.
So that's probably an own goal, which you sort of look at it and you go, well, yeah, it could have been harder or better on that aspect of it. Similarly, and I'm going to say obviously the Celtic Cup, because that's even closer to the Aston Villa game. Not even anything about those tickets, where normally you'd have probably got like your paper tickets within days of your actual period.
I'm assuming the Celtic Cup is digital tickets then, or paper tickets?
Yes, not digital.
Right.
Because if it'd be, I think all tickets are now going to be digital unless requested. Yep. But I also think the Celtic Cup's a great little dummy run for the digital ticketing, because obviously they're going to be able to then see, right, okay, this is how it works. Have we got any teething problems ready for when we have the real thing in the Premier League, like the week after? But it's just one of those things. Obviously, the membership has increased.
And they've got international fan memberships as well, which is good.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And I'm going to say this, but you've got obviously we know Alan, who's been on shows before. You've got Max as well, who's a board. So there's many people, even Ben, who's obviously English. He's from, but he lives in America there. So you've now got that option as well. And you're just thinking, it's nice that you've got a specific membership that is for international members, and they do get that little something, because I believe they get an option to go into a Q&A/fan event
for online. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, which is a great thing as well, because it gets them involved there. Obviously, Black Mamba says Hope Club gets ticket and membership so soon. Confusion and delays frustrating. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that probably is that. I think the other, and I'm going to say this, I think the success that we've had has come too soon, in the fact that the club wants to go. It's getting all the things done. It's trying to get more staff in. I just see that on LinkedIn now. They're now advertising for a ticketing assistant, which is obviously something that they are going to need. But I just think it is that I think the success is coming too soon. The club's having to try and be reactive rather than proactive on a lot of these things. And I think we just need to give them a teeny weeny bit of leeway.
Teething problems, and also when you look at what they've inherited, the previous owners weren't spending any money on anything. Whereas, financial fair play, we're limited on what we can spend on the pitch, but off the pitch, we're unlimited. And I think in the short space of time that they've been in charge, they've actually offloaded a lot of investment into the stadium, the concourses, like where you get your food and drinks and all your bits in on a match day. The ticketing system,
obviously the training
surrounding
ground.
area, the training ground, and then they're talking about this Cellar fan park as well, which will cost millions. So they're investing in the right places, but I think, and it all creates revenue and bottom line profit. But like you say,
They've also closed the Terrace bar to create more office space because there wasn't enough for the fact that, and that's the thing, that nearly every department in the club wasn't ran the way it should be, and it was understaffed.
No,
the fact that
and
obviously now I would say the fact that now you've got like a director of football, you've now got a chief executive, you've got a specific financial officer in that, whereas everything was done via Lee Charlie. He just ran the club and that was it.
And it was ridiculous. And there's some poor sod sat on Twitter, and that's all they were on was Twitter. Whereas now, like literally 2 weeks after the takeover, the whole social media landscape for Newcastle United completely changed. You know, it's far more inclusive, far more interactive. You knew what was going on. Even down to signings and training kit launches. We never had any of that. It's just and it's nothing to do with money. It's just about running it properly, like a proper business. You look at, look at a really successful company, Apple. So look at their interactions with social media and their customers. Newcastle weren't doing that, but now they are.
Yeah, and to be honest, the same's going to be said, and we'll get to it obviously now, because now we'll move and we'll talk, because this links into signings, which obviously we had one get announced on Sunday. People are saying, "Oh, we need to sign this, we need to sign that, we need to sign that." Yeah, that's great. In an ideal world, we'd sign anyone that we wanted to, but the position that we're in is that we don't have the finances yet.
We are in Champions League football with a championship budget at the moment, because our income is of a championship club, because 2 years ago we were surviving relegation. 24 months later, we're now in the Champions League.
Yeah, and we didn't have a commercial strategy or a commercial department.
Yeah.
We now do.
Yeah,
and the sponsorships will come in. Yeah, and I'm just going to say, like the Cellar Cup for one. Obviously, that's probably going to be more revenue from Cellar in terms of money coming into the club. It's sponsored by Visit Malta. There you go. That's another sponsor into the club. There's different options on there now. The great thing is obviously the Summer Series, which we'll go on to after the sign. That's an extra bit of revenue, because obviously there's the Premier League will have paid the clubs like Newcastle to be involved in that particular tournament. Now, obviously, it'll probably cost a hell of a lot of money to get, in terms of the transport and accommodation and stuff like that. But it's a now. This is where I'm going to say there's a bit of a divide. Everyone in America now is absolutely loving what the clubs do, and they've held fan events. They've got local legends up there. They've had open training sessions, and I'm thinking that's great, and it's great to entice more fans. But why isn't there anything like this in the UK? Like, why isn't there a fan event at, let's say, Shearer's Bar, where you can ask Darren Eales a question, or Shola Amiobi, or Shea Given? There's those things there, and you're like, great. I think we need to have more. Have them in the US, but then have one in Saudi, or have one in the UK. Go around places and that, and that's something that they need to start doing more of, and hopefully
I think they have started doing that, and I 100% think that in the future, next season there'll be more fan interaction events and stuff like that. I think if you look at the model of Man City, not so much Chelsea, but maybe Man United in terms of their interaction with fans, I think that's the road that we're going down. I think they realise, just look at the kit launches and look at the queues, and you go on the website and it says third kit, at least 7 to 10 days delivery through demand. Like, Newcastle United have suddenly realised that actually the kits, the training kits, the merchandise is a massive revenue driver, and they're acting on it.
Yeah, and to be fair, and I'm actually going to say that it's well done to Castor for this season's kits, because I think they've hit it out of the park on every single one of the designs. Bless you.
I've only got these two up because they're the most iconic kits, other than the 1995 Les Ferdinand and Shearer. But these are a very close second.
Yeah, to be honest, I absolutely love the home kit. I think, yeah, like I said, I've seen it up close and personal. When I ended up getting it, absolutely love it. Then we're seeing the home, the away kit, the green one, where I must be allergic to talking about kits. Sorry. The green one, and it doesn't do it justice. I'm going to say, seeing it like just on the screen, like if you're looking on Twitter, seeing it in the flesh in person, which I did when I was at Gateshead when I got absolutely drenched. But yeah, it's a really, really nice kit, and it looks so much better. And then obviously the one that they've just launched, the third one, what I call the blue electric one.
People have gone mad for that. People have gone mad for that.
It is honestly stunning for me. That, like, yeah.
I tell you the thing. A question mark the question mark I've got over it is that they're. So I bought the pro shirt last season, and then like the fan shirt as well, but they're still not got the pro shirts on the club website, and I don't know why. Any shirt, home, away, third.
Yeah, well, it probably will come. It's probably just taking them time. They probably want to try and get enough stock ready for when people want to do it. Batman has come out with a big point of Maxi's the first real player that we're going to be selling that gives us that money, like 30 million or more since Perez. And it does say everything how we are limited in what the moves are. You're totally right. Yeah. Are we going to get big money for Jamal Lewis? No. Are we going to get big money for Isaac Hayden? No. For Carl Darlow? No. Yeah. You're not going to get big money for a lot of the players, and that's the issue that we've got. And this is a thing now. People, they say, "Oh, how Aston Villa spending big money?" Well, they sold Jack Grealish for £100 million.
Yeah.
So that's how they're doing it. Chelsea
and
are selling
from a Championship club to now a Premier League club to European playing club. So their revenue streams have exponentially gone up and up and up. We've gone from battling relegation to now a Champions League club.
Yeah, but then you look at Chelsea as well. Chelsea had a lot of deadwood that they need to get rid of, and they got rid of them.
Chelsea
and
that's won the European Cup 3 times.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they've got players to trade, and that's why it means that they've got more money available to do that. Now that could come down to a point where, who says in a few years' time that we don't have players that we look at it and go, well, actually Alexander Isak was good, but now we need a better striker, but we can still get money for Isak. Not saying that we will, so yeah. Just in case Max ever watches this, I'm not condoning that we're selling them. No. But that's the option. We will be getting better players. Tonali might be one. Yeah, you never know. We might have bought them for, let's say, 55 million. We might be able to sell them for 100 million. So that's what I'm saying. There's players now that I think we will be able to improve. And this is going to come perfectly on to what we want to talk about, which is the second signing that we made this summer for the first team, and that's Harvey Barnes. For around, the rumours are around anywhere between 35 to whatever million, but 35 million isn't bad for a proven Premier League
English
winger.
As well. Which,
and
English equals price increase.
Yeah. What we class the English tax. So you've got that, but and people are saying, if you look at his stats, how good are his stats? And you look at the fact that it's been in a struggling Leicester side. Season? Yeah, he's been in double figures in the last 2 seasons. And last season, when you look at it, and to us, for this, even though we only got, say, what was it, 15 minutes or 15, 20 minutes on Sunday when he came on the pitch, but you can see what he can do. And he looks, yes, are we sad that Maxi's going? Yeah, 100%. But I think this is probably something Maxi wanted to do, because if Maxi didn't want to go, he wouldn't be going. And
No, I wouldn't be surprised if St Maximin doesn't come back to Newcastle in January on a loan deal.
Well, I'm hoping that they sign this, that the Saudis sign Kylian Mbappe, because that's a cracking little loan deal for us in come January.
Yeah.
But no, I just think that was the one that, and this is the thing, because what people don't realise is, let's say we're selling St Maximin for 30 million, that's £30 million right in, because it's cash.
But you get back.
It's not over, so it's 30 million straight away, and it's cash in there. Then what you look at is that 30 million can then go, because let's say we've signed Harvey Barnes for 38 million. That's going to be amortized over this 5 years of his contract. So that's not us spending 38 million right now. That's just maybe spending 6 million.
Yeah.
So that's where that goes as well. And that's where I think it's helped us maybe have a little bit more financial aspect, muscle in that. But we do need to get rid of players. Like I said, Ryan Fraser needs to go. Jamal Lewis needs to go. I would argue maybe either Manquillo or Kraft needs to go. In that sense, there's Isaac Hayden, Jeff Hendricks. There's players that have to go that we're probably not going to find easy to shift, because we're getting the Jeff Hendrick, Ryan Fraser, free signings. So obviously their wages are being bumped up because we're getting them for free. So we've saved on the transfer fee. Black Lambert's obviously just said, glad the transfer saga sorted out with Barnes. I think we all are, to be fair, because it's a one that's been mumbling. But like I said, I'm so buzzing to get it. And when you speak to him, you can see what he's a very down to earth and very humble lad. The other thing which I absolutely love, and this was on the behind the scenes video that they did, was the first to come and greet him were what we class as like the leadership group. It was Kieran Trippier, it was Callum Wilson, it was Dan Byrne, it was Matt Ritchie. And it was great that you've got those that were coming in and doing that. And to be fair, he was having a laugh. I also think a lot of the other time you've seen him, he was quite close with Anthony Gordon as well. And that's another one which I'm going to say, for me, Anthony Gordon's, the cliche, but he's like a new signing. Because
he is now,
because I think we're going to see one hell of a season from him.
Well, if you look at that front three, Harvey Barnes, Isak, Anthony Gordon, you're looking at 10 goals. I think 20, 25 goals for Isak. That's over 40 goals.
But then you also look at it and you go, right, okay, so then who do we have? You've still got Jacob Murphy. You've still got Joe Linton, who could probably go
Bruno,
on the left. You've got
Joe
Willock.
You've got Tonali. Like, there's easily 60, 70 goals in that Newcastle team in one season.
And I'm going to say that people say, oh, we haven't got like the right side of me. I'm not going to rule out Jamal Lascelles, because to be fair, what I've seen Jamal Lascelles in the friendly game was he was bloody good. And you're just thinking, look, Lascelles is still a good defender. And we're seeing that in a few
he's good
games.
enough. Yeah.
But he played.
That's the thing.
But he played against Man City, and to be fair, he had Haaland in his pocket.
Yeah.
So he's still good enough. And I said that's and just a point on this also is Eddie Howe, when he came out and actually said something about Jamal Lascelles, because I think there was a question asked, and he said, look, that was great, and it would have done Lascelles no end of good. Now we also know that realistically you've got Lascelles, who's going to be what we class as the club captain, but then you're going to have Trippier, who's the on-field captain.
Match day. Yeah, day captain. Yeah.
But it's great to be able to have that. It's in there now. Obviously, Tonali, I think, he maybe didn't have the best of time against Aston Villa, but I also think, realistically, he had a good game against Rangers. Yeah, when you see him against Rangers, you go in there. I just think the formation which Eddie Howe played, which I am going to say, I do think was a bit of a ploy. I think Eddie
Well,
Howe's
the
went.
Aston Villa game as well, he went 3 at the back, didn't he? So
Yeah, but I don't think we'll be doing that. I think he's went. Let's trick them. Let's make them think that I'm trialing a new formation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that because I'll be really going to show exactly how we want to play against them when we're facing them in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, in the league, no.
Mm-hmm.
And Craig Hope even said that. He says, I think it was a cunning ploy from Eddie Howe to not let the secrets out with regards to that. But no, the other thing, like I said, Harvey Barnes looks like he's going to be a talent. And if we're going off basically, the track record with Eddie Howe, he will improve players. So he'll improve Harvey Barnes. Tonali
100%.
will
Yeah.
probably improve. I still look at that and think that a midfield trio of Tonali, Joe Linton, and Bruno is just, it's got so much potential.
It's arguably the best Newcastle team since 95, 96.
Yeah, but you've got, and then you look at it. Who do we bring in if we're going to swap like the full midfield? Where you'd bring in Joe Willock, Sean Longstaff, and Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, and Miley.
Yeah, you've got Lewis Miley as well. But you're looking at that and just thinking, well, Joe Willock's still a cracking player. So Sean Longstaff, and for me, Elliot Anderson, which I am going to say, I think he is standout player of pre-season so far.
God, yeah.
He is
he's physical, he's muscular, he's young, he's fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's bulked up. He's got more muscle on there to help his game. But I absolutely loved the way that he just saw the dummy to, I think, was it Consa? And he just right, I put you on your arse now, bang, into the back of the net.
Yeah.
It was perfect in that sense.
There's not a lot of improvement needed for that team. Like, it is looking like a really good team. If they get Livramento, that'll be a nice signing. I think he's a left back, isn't he?
He's a right back, but he can play as a left back.
So that would be a decent signing. But I can't see any weak positions in that team. It is looking really good.
Left back for me. As it stands, I think left back's probably the only position that we look a little bit weak on, because if Dan Burn isn't in there, I don't think Matt Targett's up to it. That's just me saying I just don't think he is. On Livramento, I wouldn't go above the 30 million. If Southampton wanted to just start discussing silly money, right, okay, thank you, see you, we'll move on. I'd go for Lewis Hall at Chelsea. He's a young lad.
Yes. Yeah. But Pochettino's come out and said that he's going nowhere.
Hell, of course he's going to say
and if you play fantasy football, he's well worth putting in your team, because if he's going to play, he's very affordable and very good.
He's not, though, because why? Yeah, if he's going to start Lewis Hall over Ben Chilwell, then Ben Chilwell will want to be wanting to move out. So we'll go for him. We'll go and sign Ben Chilwell instead.
Quite a nice segue into the last section of the summer series. With our next game is against Chelsea.
Yeah. Do you know what? And it's one of those ones. Am I really going to read into a lot into the result against Chelsea? No. It's a pre-season friendly. It's exactly that. Eddie Howe's going to want to go out and try and win it. But you look at it, Chelsea against Brentford, and Brentford went down to 10 minutes and they still nearly equalised from that. That side. But you look at it, what was it? I think, isn't it been 4-3, 3-2, 3-3?
Yeah.
So no side had a clean sheet yet. But no, it is. I actually quite like the idea of it in a sense. The summer series, it brings the opportunity
it brings an American fan base that only Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man United have only ever had access to, and maybe Arsenal.
Yeah, so if you look at it, the Premier League's turned around and said, right, okay, Aston Villa, you've got a chance now to try and build more fans. Yeah,
fan base
Fulham,
in the US.
Brentford, yeah, Newcastle, and Chelsea, and that. So you're looking at that. I'm trying to hang on. Yeah, so it's Fulham, Brentford, Brighton. That was the other team which I forgot. It does do that, and it's great for the fans.
I've been watching a lot of Adam P's coverage as well of it, and he seems to get amongst them in like the tailgate parties and stuff like that. And you know, you got like
that couldn't happen in the UK because you couldn't really drive because you wouldn't be able. You can't be left there for.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to drive after a couple of kegs of beer. But like, if you look at like, what's his name? SoCal, the guy from California who does San Diego Mags, he's been on there. So like, you know, that's West Coast to East Coast. You know, you've got a lot of Newcastle supporter groups going across America, like New York, California, even like mid state as well. So, you know, it's a really good thing. Like, and the way that it is like a festival, like you had 6 or 5 different supporters all mixing in the Philadelphia Eagles stadium. So they all had their own sections. Shola Amiobi was there. Shay Given was there. Yeah. But then next to them was representatives from Brighton, and then next to them was representatives from, you know, Brentford and so on. So I think it's really good to attract and generate revenue and attract more supporters like internationally. Yeah, but and this is the one thing which I'm going to say. One, Shay Given seem to be doing a lot more with the club now. So he's totally more involved, and I love the fact that he's moved away from Man City, because he was always, I was Newcastle keeper, but I was also Man City goalkeeper. He's totally moved away from Man City. He was arguably one of our best ever goalkeepers as well. Yeah, hands down. Yeah, but you look at that, even Warren Barton was involved in that, and I love the fact that they were all kitted out in like the official Newcastle like proper T-shirt, which I mean, let's not beat around the bush. They were being paid for that, but it's still good of them. Well, I think it's probably been paid for by the Premier League, because I think the Premier League will have wanted to do like these sort of things and that. So I think there's that. Yeah, but hands down, and I am actually going to see it, the T-shirts that they're wearing, the grey with the. I love those T-shirts as well. I think like the mint, yeah, they are mint. They are. But you also look at Darren Neals. The fact that Darren Neals was being questioned, it was like, Darren, if you had the option to stay at St James, and he was like 100% to stay at St James's. Sure that even when he said, look, the game that got me wanting to be a player was the Barcelona game. I was there, man. I was there. It was, but it's just so, honestly, it was like, it's so good to be able to do that. Now, I'm actually going to say I was actually one of the lucky fans that went onto the online Q&A with Shay Given, because that's something that they did just before like the summer series started, and you went into a ballot and that, and you got in there, and it was great to be able to go in there and listen to things and stuff like that. And it's like, we need to have more of those. Have more online events for, let's say, your international fans, to get them feeling more involved. But no, honestly, I don't think people have felt as excited for a long time now. No, I think even Darren Neal said he called me until the 31st of August when the choice made, and he was like, "Bring on Real Madrid so we can absolutely smash them." Give them a stuffing, but also like seeing the coverage from Premier League and Sky, like it makes me. I would travel out to the US to next year's Premier League series, because it's like American sports meets Newcastle United football sports, like, and they're totally different supporters to us, but the way that it then also gets together and making it accessible, I think it's really good. But it's like looking at it, like the Lincoln Financial Field looked a cracking stadium. To be fair, I know it's made for American like football. 3 tiers on the east and west side. But it looks smaller. But I think even someone said the way that they do it, so that it's looking that you look out to like the Philadelphia skyline, where you've obviously got the smaller stand, which just makes it look even better. Obviously, the game that we're going to have against Chelsea at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta. Which obviously Darren Neals have had a massive, by the way. It is like that's fantastic, stunning. And then obviously we go to
New Jersey. Yeah, for the final game, which I think's Fulham. No, Brighton.
It's Fulham or Brighton. Yeah,
No,
I
it's
think
Brighton that we fear that.
Yeah.
So funny enough, we're not going to play either Brentford or Fulham in those ones.
Yeah.
So it's not really playing all the teams over there. But honestly, it's good now. Obviously, the Thursday one, I've had to work time back. So like work time, so I can get a late finish. Sorry, a late start for the Thursday morning because obviously the
they kick off
kickoffs
at like midnight, don't they?
It's it's 1:15 in the morning. The kickoff for Chelsea.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I can't start at 7:00 in the morning then. So I'll whack in a little bit of a late start there just so I can stay up and watch it. But that's the thing. There's Newcastle fans in the UK. Now I'm going to say this now gets the UK audience feeling how the international audience feel. Because then we're saying, I'm going to get up at 1:15 or I'm going to stay up until 1:15 to watch the team play.
I've been to New York many a times, and I watched the World Cup in Germany in New York, and I was in a bar at 6:30 in the morning. You know, the England-Germany game when the ball from Frank Lampard, did it cross the line? It did cross the line, but didn't it? I was watching that in New York at 6, and people were queuing up outside bars at 6:00 in the morning to watch the football. Most of them expats, admittedly. That's like 20 years ago, but you know.
Yeah. So I'm just seeing whether or not there's anything that we're missing in terms of the news on that. Obviously, the one thing is obviously Cardolo looks as if he's very, very close to going to Leeds.
Right.
Which I think
we'll only have two. Oh, Gillespie, Laureus.
Oh no, we're still going to have 4.
Pope.
Because it'll be Pope, Dubravka, Laureus, and Gillespie.
Oh, Dubravka, I forgot about him. Yeah.
So it's
I
on
did
there.
say in the previous podcast, I do think we need a decent reserve goalkeeper, but I'll hold that judgment. Let's see.
And I've argued that we do in Karius. That's on there. But
you see as well, the Spurs goalkeeper got carted off in training, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dubravka doesn't get loaned out to Spurs now.
Oh, yeah. I'll do.
Yeah.
I just think, is Dubravka going to be satisfied sitting on the bench? Also, I'm going to say, given his performance on Sunday, I'm not comfortable with him as a backup keeper.
No, I'd go Pope, Karius,
and Gillespie.
Yeah.
It's like you only need 3. Whack Gillespie, and there you go. You're fine.
Yeah, and you hardly use Karius, so have Gillespie and say to Dubravka, all the best. Wish you all the best, but
yeah, but it is the time we need to be ruthless, and and this is what we're going to have. There's going to be players that we absolutely love that we are probably going to have to sell. There may come a point where we need to sell Miggy because we need to raise funds in that.
And £75 million, right winger.
Yeah. So there's these options that are in there that's in there, but obviously, hopefully, the next time that we're on here, it'll be a little bit quieter. We won't have the Ferrari over the membership. We may
let's commit to a match day vlog for the first game of the season. We can do that. 12, isn't it? Aston Villa. So we can put something out Sunday the 13th.
No, I'm actually just watch this space also because I believe the 11th of August is rumoured to be the date that the Amazon documentary about Newcastle United gets released.
Yes.
And I also think this week there is going to be a trailer released.
Yes, and I think there'll be some familiar faces in that Amazon documentary as well.
Well, there will be. Amanda Staveley.
Exactly what I mean.
Eddie Howe. But it's going to be great because we're going to be able to get to see more of the behind the scenes, like how a football club runs, rather than the football side of it, like where you've got Jose Mourinho telling Johnny Rose that he wants some football, basically.
Or telling poor old Deli Alley that he's a load of shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's going to be fun to watch. I still laugh at the Arsenal one.
Oh, it was the best game. It was the best game ever. That last game when they in that Newcastle change room, we were there, weren't we? Sat next to each other. Absolutely, chef's kiss. It was one of my favourite ever games. Absolutely.
Oh, it's up there, but you then look at it and you go, and the Brighton game was up there. The Southampton semi-final game was like there's so many.
The Man United game, the Chelsea game.
Yeah, there's so many.
3-3 with Man City. I mean, there was just loads. You know, there was loads.
Yeah, we're now getting these good games, but yeah, let's end it there because we could keep on talking, and we need to have rest there. So that was it. It was just a quick one, just to have a quick little natter about the things that have been going on, and hopefully there'll be more stuff. Yeah, might be more signings. The next time we speak, we'll probably be able to speak about the Chelsea and the Brighton game next week, because they'll be done. And then obviously the next thing that we'll be looking forward to is the next thing that we'll be looking forward to is the Cellar Cup.
The Cellar Cup, yep, and you'll be there.
Yeah, all 5 matches.
So let's work on that.
Exactly. So let's just say thank you for joining. Enjoy the company, especially with that Mamba. And
cool.
We'll see you next time.